When have you ever seen a guy get a black eye from playing football? Yeah, I really like that. Someone kiss it better? Bow, 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 bow. What's up, little horse? I have a lot of energy because I just woke up from a nap and I had my lunch just before filming this. Before we say anything, I'm gonna need y'all to send this video to a friend, tap the button, and what's the other thing? Subscribe to the thing. Because I told a sheik that I'm gonna get rich and famous, and then I'm gonna hire him as my bodyguard, and I'm gonna roll around town causing chaos. And I can't do that if you don't get me subscribers, and then I don't get money, and I don't get rich and famous. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you so much for all the interaction over the last few episodes. Y'all have been going crazy. I've been getting stories longer than my attention span in the DMs. I appreciate y'all going crazy, but I'm low-key getting slightly overwhelmed. There are so many topic ideas on all the videos I've posted in my DMs, but at the same time I want to keep this fun for me, so I'm going to be hopscotching between like your problems and mine, you get me? A couple quick points before we jump into today's video. Just in general, I really don't want to be like a preacher in this series. Like, I am Chief Matt, you understand? I'm Moneybag Matt, I'm your uncle, your head of baller ass activities, but I don't want it to be like, go do this, you should do this. I'm a human being as well, you get me? This is more of like an interactive space. When y'all talk with each other in the comments, y'all talk to me, like that's what it's really about. I do value and respect my own opinion because I know the experiences that I've been through in my own life that give those opinions substance. But like I said again, this is an interactive space for sure. Those inspiration gents are low-key annoying, I'm not gonna lie. And that's not me. Act like a waste man. That's not me. The other thing is just respect, and I want to say well done to you guys so far. You guys have been real great with each other in the comments. My pops used to tell me that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so that we should listen twice as much as we speak. I think that's a good principle to have going forward. And on top of that, I feel like a lot of problems today, especially on social media, is because people don't take the time to listen to other people before they speak, and then people just get into like senseless arguments. So yeah, well done for that, but let's just keep it going. Respect each other's opinions even if you don't agree with them, blah 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 blah. Okay, enough of the bullschlagas. Into today's topic. To uni or not to uni? One of the questions that I got is it important to worry about high school subjects and grades? In my opinion, I don't think that high school grades are as important as you see them now if you're in high school going through that. The only thing they do is serve as a ticket to get you into the uni that you want to go to. The only thing there is it's probably important to know where you want to go before you go there. If you want to go study veterinary at Cambridge, there's a different set of standards that you need to hold yourself to in high school in order to be academically eligible to even apply there. If you want to go to UCT, you know what you have to do. You know what the MBT requirements are. I'm sure they talk to you about that stuff in high school. But in terms of like this determining the rest of your life, not important at all. Once you get into uni, you can basically forget about high school grades. It's just to get you in the door. In the same way, but to a less extent, not as much as high school, uni grades are just a ticket to get you into whatever career you need to go to. So those bare minimums that you're seeing in uni, that will get you to the next stage. However, why I say it's not to the same extent as in high school is because in uni there are a number of other factors, and there is like a sort of proportional relationship between how well you do academically in uni and how many opportunities become available to you moving forward into the career path that you want to chase. For example, because I'm doing finance with accounting, if I'm getting 90s in all my courses, when I go to apply to one of the big 4 accounting institutes for articles, that is going to have a heavier weighting than if I get 50s. That being said, I did get 2 offers out of 2 interviews while scraping by academically. So it's kind of also what you can do on the sidelines, you get me? And I'm a finesse.
What?
And I'm a Vanessa. They call me Vanessa Hutchins. Get me? But yeah, so there are a number of factors. We'll talk about that in another video, but here we're addressing to uni or not to uni. That is the question. Like I just touched on, I'm not very academic as a person, but I am intelligent. In high school, it was easy for me to just skate by minimum effort, and I still did pretty well. I didn't get the minimum requirements. I actually did pretty well in high school, but uni isn't really the same. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into that. I can get sidetracked in a lot of things, but I'm trying to stay true to the question that I was asked. So this is the topic I actually want to talk about, and someone else asked a question about this. Is basically talking about the traditional career trajectory, which is go from high school through to uni, into a job, work till you're 65, retire, get upset with your wife for 20 years, and then the other side, which is the entrepreneurial / the person described it to me as like the social influencer side, but basically we'll generalize that as just chasing a dream. So not going through uni and just chasing a passion from the end of high school, we'll say high school diploma is the minimum requirement in this question. So just for some perspective, I'm 24 years old, 6 years into a 4-year degree because of lack of motivation, which then turned into laziness. Anyways, I'm here to tell you to not make my mistake. At the end of grade 12, I finished grade 12 in England. I used to live in England. And when we moved down, I'm not going to go too much into my personal life, but when we moved down from England to South Africa, I literally only applied to UCT, I think. I might have had a backup somewhere, but I don't think so. I think I just applied to UCT. That was literally my only option. In terms of courses, coming out of high school, I did not know what I wanted to do with my life at all. But instead of sit down and critically think about where I wanted my life to go, I just sort of fell into line passively. My parents said financial accounting is a good degree. I said, oh, okay. I applied for business science, finance with accounting. My backup option was actually a Bachelor of Science, I think. And I got in, like, no hiccups. And that was it. I was in the system and I regret it to this day.
To this day!
Because I feel like I've wasted 6 years of my life because this degree that I'm in is not what I want to do with the rest of my life. The advice here is have that talk with your parents. Do not be idle in grade 11 and 12. And I say grade 11 because grade 12 should be focused on you getting those exams done so that you can get into the uni that you want to go to. And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, your applications for the uni you want to go to should be already sent through halfway through that year, right? So spend grade 11 if you want to choose a uni path thinking about what uni you want to go to. And if you don't want to choose the uni path, think about what you actually want to do. Think about what your passions are, because then you can make an informed decision when the time comes. And I know, you might be thinking, oh, Matt, I gotta go drink ciders with my underage friends. I feel you. But if you take one weekend in grade 11 to stay at home by yourself, not even around your parents or siblings or friends, and think about what you want to do with the rest of your life, that could have saved me 6 years. This is a recurring theme you'll see later on in life, but your actions now have consequences later that you cannot see at the present time. But trust me, just because you can't see them, it doesn't mean that they're not real. So if uni is what you want, do that. But if it's not what you want, chase your dreams. Now, I'm not going to be like some of these motivation TikToks where they're like, chase your dreams no matter the cost. I'm a realist. I understand that the better financial position you and your family are in, the easier it is to chase your dreams. I mean, if someone's father is a multi-millionaire, or mother, it's 2021, or both, I'm playing, relax, and I want to start a food delivery business, all my capital's already covered, you know, my parents got me. But, you know, if you're not as fortunate as that, there is a greater struggle to overcome. You do not have the financial resources that others do. At the same time, you got to be honest with yourself and not make excuses because of your situation. Ain't nobody trying to hear your excuses. If you have a dream, you need to do whatever you can to make it happen. If you've done what you can and it still doesn't happen because there are things out of your control which led to failure, that's okay. Then you're cool with me. If I see you in the street, I'm gonna shake your hand. You did whatever you could. Basically, what I'm saying is there are hardships, but there is room to hustle at the same time. All right, so Matt, do I do uni or do I chase my dreams? Let me use some of the pros and cons of each and then y'all can decide. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just what came to me off the top of my head. So uni. Some of the pros are it's really good for networking. You're placed in an environment with a lot of people your age, probably like-minded if you're in the same degree, who come from all different walks of life. You make friends with them. There are certain avenues that you can use your friends for later in life to further your own careers. Another pro, first year uni is one of the greatest times on planet Earth for all sorts of reasons. Everybody is feeling free because they're out of high school. Everybody a bit loose on the cash because either they're lying to their parents. You people who lie to your parents about the price of textbooks, you actually need to answer for your sins. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, everyone's going a little bit wild. The workload is much lighter in first year. Anyone going from high school into first year next year, trust me, it's a walk in the park. Do not be afraid. No matter what they tell you at orientation. Unless you're dumb, then I can't help you. But that's a personal problem for you. Keeping it raw. Another pro is that freedom. The fact that you're out of a household if you're staying in res, even if you're still staying at home but going to uni, there's another place where you can call home, I guess, to get away from any pressures or struggles you have in your household. And probably one of the greatest pros is that there's a prescribed journey for you. If you're a person who likes order and organization, here is a path that you can take that will lead you to a place with a fair amount of job security. That is true. I mean, I'm not going to be an idiot and say like, uni is useless. It's useful. And that depends on the degree that you're doing. I've known a bunch of people who've done humanities degrees that have no job security, or seemingly no job security. It's a bit of a free-for-all. But, you know, the main ones, medicine, accounting, law, engineering, they're pretty much all useful degrees that have a fair amount of job security at the end of the road, providing you do the work that you need to do. Now, a counterpoint against these pros is that COVID has taken away a lot of them. I mean, there's not a lot of social networking because no one's on campus. There's not a lot of fun times because Big Boy Rama has us in by 9 p.m. And I guess that filters into the freedom pro as well. It's not really around. A big con of uni is that there is a lot of wasted time. Think of universities as blue whales. It's a slow-moving beast. They have a one-size-fits-all prescribed model for education. They have to. You have a room of 30 kids. All of us are very unique and different, but the uni can't cater to us individually. That'll cost way too much money. So what do? They try and find a model that works for everyone the best that they can. And I'm not bagging on them. They really are trying to do their job, but it's just not possible to target each student individually and think about their needs and their passions and their objectives and their strengths and weaknesses and cater to those. Another huge con of university is the opportunity cost of what you could have done with the money. To those of you who don't know, an opportunity cost is something you give up to do something else. So for example, if I'm going to a party, the opportunity cost of going to that party is the time I could have spent staying at home doing uni work or resting. But if I stay home, the opportunity cost of staying home and getting that rest is the fun times I could have had with my friends and the memories I could have made. So the opportunity cost regarding the money is by the end of a 4 or 5 year degree, you're dropping over R1 million. And if you're not passionate about that, think about what you could have done with that money. For example, if you're a videographer, imagine what R1 million could do for you in terms of equipment, courses, travel, experience. So that is something to consider. Okay, now, the not uni path, the pros. Okay, so the obvious pro comparatively to uni is that it's cheaper, obviously, because it's as much money as you spend on it. But the big pro that I want to talk about is the targeted objective, which is obviously the counterpart to the one-size-fits-all model in university. When you're chasing your dream individually, every second of every day can have purpose. It can be specifically designed to what you're trying to achieve. To give you an example, before uni, I wake up, I drive 30 minutes to campus, wasted. I go into a course where I understand that topic brilliantly. The tutor spends an hour explaining it to people who don't, wasted. I need help on another subject, it's not covered in that lesson, wasted, because then I have to go learn it by myself. Alternatively, if I'm a YouTuber and I'm working on my passion alone, I can wake up straight from this bed, film immediately. I can hop into the editor immediately. I can DM people for collabs. I can do whatever I want, but I do it on my own time and I can design a program. The thing about that is that it requires a huge amount of responsibility on your part. You have to be responsible with the dreams that you're chasing. How do I want to say this? Let's explain it as sort of like a rate, like how much I get done per unit of time, we'll say per hour. We'll call that the grind rate. I can get a much higher grind rate working alone than I would do at uni, or I can get a much lower one. It all depends on me. Now for the cons of chasing your dreams independently. It's harder to meet people because there's not one place where they all put you. But again, COVID sort of takes that away for uni. In addition to that, social media is so accessible these days. You can literally reach out to whoever you want. But again, it's the initial meeting of those people. You're sort of forced into friendships in a good way in uni because you're put in similar environments where all of you are alone and possibly a bit insecure in first year, so you reach out to people to sort of build bonds to make the time there better, I guess. One of the biggest cons of working on your own is the fact that the riskiness level increases greatly. Just as I went into uni and I wasted 6 years, I'm going to come out of it with a pretty respectable degree, but wasted in my personal opinion. The same way that you can waste your time going to uni, you can also waste your time chasing your dreams if you don't use your time appropriately. In addition to that, there is a risk that you don't achieve your dreams. Some things are just out of your control. You can do whatever you can to the most of your abilities, but life is life sometimes. And life roundhouse kicks you to the face. You can go 4 years deep and then realize that the dream's just not going to work out. Although what I will say about that is that if you chase your dreams first, it's not too late to go to university. But there are certain dreams that you cannot afford to miss out 6 years. A good example is football. You know, I wasn't like an amazing football player or anything, but I was pretty decent. And I truly believe that if you put enough hard work behind something, you can make it work a lot of the time. Imagine I had put 6 years from age 18 to right now solely focused on one goal. And that goal was to make it as a pro footballer. Every day, waking up, stretching, core work, watching tactics videos, hiring private coaches, signing up to clubs, doing whatever I can to achieve those goals, using the money that would have gone to uni, putting that back into myself. That's a question that unfortunately I'll never be able to answer because I didn't take the time to strategize my dreams and objectives. A shared characteristic of both the uni path and the chase your dream path is that nobody cares about you. At uni, I'm not saying that they don't want you to succeed. They do, and they offer times where you can go in and see tutors and stuff, but no one's going to check up on you. If you don't do the work, you fail, you're out. Nobody cares. They take your money, say have a good day. Likewise, on the chase your dreams path, besides the fact that you'll have good friends and family in your life sometimes to drive you towards achieving those objectives. But if you do not do the work, you are the only one that fails. You are the one who doesn't achieve your objectives. You are the one who suffers the consequences. So whichever path you take, if you're young, coming out of high school, your life is up to you. No one else but you. Okay, I'm kind of running up the time right now, but to end it off, I would leave you with one tool that I use every time I deal with a problem that seems bigger than life itself in the moment. I want to call it the zoom out effect. Think about how insignificant your life is, how insignificant my life is. You might be thinking, I failed that biology test, my whole life is over. Just zoom out a bit. You're gonna live 80 years on this planet, and then 800 generations are gonna live after you, and I don't know how many generations came before you. Life is life. Are you really gonna let a biology test affect you that much? A piece of A4 paper. I don't know. That's just how I think about it, because I just think that this cannot be as important as what I'm making it out to be. And I know it feels that way sometimes because you're so locked in. Whew. Damn, that was a lot. Anyways, I hope that helped. Have a good ass night. Subscribe. 100K one day. I beg of thee. Catch you on the next episode of Keeping It Raw. Bow.